Hey, and welcome to another edition of the Crypto Club and Digital Assets Weekly Catch-Up on Zoom. It's Sunday the 1st of February 2026, and we never quite know what we're going to be talking about, so hopefully there's something that's going to be of interest to you. Really depends on the audience and who shows up, but we quite often talk about blockchain, crypto, DeFi, NFTs, the Metaverse, central bank digital currencies, crypto regulation, and a whole lot more besides, so definitely something for everybody in there. Anyway, let's see who's going to come and join us today. John, hello.
Yeah, I'm good.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Are there more people coming in today?
Yeah, we never quite know how many come along. We had about 8 a couple of weeks ago. And then some weeks we just get 1 or 2. Really depends, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're watching the markets at the moment?
Not really. I think the market's a little weak right now.
Yep.
With all the activity in the precious metals, gold and silver, and huge redemptions going on in the markets.
Yeah, well, I think silver's been being talked about for quite a while now, and you're right in the precious metals, and there seems to be some odd behaviour, shall we say, and crypto's no different. So Bitcoin, I noticed had been settled around I think it's about the $84,000, and it's dropped to about 77 recently. So, yeah, there's lots of concern and fear and worry, I guess.
Some individual is redeeming a lot of gold in New York right now. I mean, I can't remember the amount. It's pretty huge.
Okay.
I think they're all waiting for the reset, so they'll start buying, accumulating gold.
Okay.
Because of the U.S. dollar reset that's coming on anytime soon.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. It's interesting as well. I was taking a look at the fear and greed index at the moment, and we're definitely entering into a zone of extreme fear. Which I have a feeling the way it's crashing at the moment, you might be able to see it. Could well be the lowest it's been for quite a while. Looks like we're definitely about to drop into this zone if it goes any lower. So yeah.
Well, I'm just wondering, Ray Dalio is kind of advising people get out of the stock market.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to see a fall in that as well.
Okay. I think there's just general complete market uncertainty, isn't there? Whether it's in the stocks, metals, crypto, FX, everything seems to be having problems. So are you just building up your knowledge about the whole crypto space still?
Well, I'm trying to figure out one thing that I'm trying to with the stablecoin, the Tether. I'm still trying to figure out which is the best way to transfer a large amount out. Whether do I go to the exchange, the private exchange, or do I just go to a digital bank? So in terms of the transaction costs, I think the exchange that I'm looking at, they are charging 1 to 2% of the amount. So that's pretty large. And then the digital banks, I don't think they have such high fees. If I open up an account and just deposit the stable coin with them and then convert to US dollars, I think there's a more affordable option than going through the exchange. And then there's also the tax issue, which they don't really seem to understand. There's only a few tax specialists in cryptocurrency that knows what's going on. Because every time you do a swap between stablecoin and the currency, the government will tax you on that. So that's another issue.
Yeah.
So if it's a large amount, the taxes are pretty substantial.
Yeah, and it's certainly something in the UK, at least. I know that tax authorities are taking a great interest in crypto transactions now, particularly the high value ones, going through both exchanges and even direct as well. Because I think in the UK, HMRC, which is the organisation responsible for taxation, they've got direct access to bank accounts, I think, now, which means that you have to report all the transactions and trading you do, because they'll spot it anyway if you access it to fiat. I don't know, John.
Exactly.
I've forgotten whereabouts you're based, John.
I'm based in Toronto, Canada. I think
Okay.
the Canadian government will tax you if you do a swap from a stablecoin to the Canadian dollars. They will definitely tax you for that.
Okay. I think in the UK they've got it quite interesting that the first obligation is about reporting of all transactions. So even if you do like a BTC to USDT and from USDT to some other crypto and so on, you have to report every single transaction, which can be quite onerous for people who are active in the market. And I think also it's every transaction becomes what they call a taxable event, which means you if you've made something on the exchange in some way between one product to another product, then that's taxable. So yeah, there seems to be. It's funny because in the UK, there's a lot of resistance from the institutions and the state against crypto, but they're still quite happy to tax it. So the way it goes, I guess Canada's not that dissimilar.
Well, that's the thing. I need to find out if you use a U.S. Digital bank, they will also be reporting to the authorities, I assume.
Yep.
But those private exchanges, they've been telling me a different story. They say it's not taxable, but then again, some of these exchanges have to be licensed with the authorities, and the minute they're licensed, they have to report every transaction. So I don't know whether the private exchanges are exempt from reporting.
I don't think it's that they're exempt from reporting. I think it's that simply they're getting away with not being registered, which means it's a little bit off the radar. And I think this is where, again, you have to be careful with those, because the tax authorities quite often, if they can't access the records of the exchange, they might be able to access the records of your bank account. So if you've converted to a fiat currency, then it's likely that it'll get captured and reported somewhere. So it comes down to ultimately there seems to be no escape, just pay the taxes that are due. So yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out, because can you imagine, let's say if you are transferring, let's say 100 million, right, for example, of stable coins to fiat currency, the tax on that amount will be quite substantial.
Yeah. I guess at the moment, the one good thing about the crypto market in general is it's in a downtrend, and so you don't pay tax on losses. So that's something, I guess. But if you're just doing a straightforward crypto per swap to transfer, then there shouldn't be that much tax to pay, should there? Because ultimately, if you've got, as you say, $100 million of dollars, and you convert that to $100 million of Bitcoin, and then you convert it back from $100 million of Bitcoin to $100 million of dollars, then whilst they are taxable events, there's no actual profits made on those to pay tax on.
Well, in this case, it would be not a profit; it would be a swap, and the swap. I don't know what the percentage of the taxes is. That's why I gotta ask an expert who knows what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Will tell you what the tax amount would be just to do a swap.
So my understanding, and this will vary from jurisdiction to jurisdiction, is that typically you don't pay tax on a transfer, you pay tax on any value made. So if you've made a profit in some way, that's what you pay tax on. Because otherwise you think about how if you're paying something in, say, Canadian dollars, you don't pay tax. If I buy something for 100 Canadian dollars, I don't pay tax on the $100 that I've just used to pay for something. But if I bought something like gold or silver or Bitcoin or whatever, and it went up by 10%, then typically I'd pay tax on that 10%. But it will vary from country to country, I guess.
Yeah, well, from what I've been hearing from this lady who's a supposed expert, you will be taxed for doing a swap.
I'm kind of into
anytime it's a swap like a theta to a Canadian dollar, there will be a tax. I just want to know what is the percentage of the tax. But is there another way where, let's say, if I open a offshore company in the Bahamas and they have a U.S. digital bank that accepts stable coins and cryptocurrencies. If I open the company and I deposit it into the digital bank, will I be taxed if I do the swap? That's maybe another way around it.
I'm guessing the tax liability would remain. The fact you're routing it a different way doesn't always remove the liability. But there might be ways of doing something like that. But again, I'm not convinced that for most countries you pay tax simply on an exchange, even if it's a swap or a swap on the spot market. It's only you typically pay tax on gains in some way.
Okay, well, that's good to know. If that's the case, then I got nothing to worry about.
Well, my advice is go and speak to someone who legally is qualified to answer the question. All I'm offering is an opinion.
Yeah, I really have to do some research because if not, you never know. When if you're hit with a tax, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we might have a different view. We've got Stuart's joined us, and Stuart's a little bit further south of you, I guess. Well, I don't know, Stuart, if you're on, what's the situation with taxation in the US now with crypto? If you were to convert dollars to Bitcoin to USDT, for example, and then back to dollars, do you pay tax on the payment? No. It is just on the value gained, isn't it? If there is any profit.
Not even value gain. I mean, theoretically, if you're doing the swaps and so on, that should go on your tax.
It's another interesting thing that there is a exchange which it's not regulated, and apparently, it's nefarious, I think, because what happens is that I was told that every Ethereum exchange based platform is on the blockchain. So through the blockchain, you can actually see if a wallet has the stated amount in the wallet. However, for those non-regulated exchange, I don't know if you can see the amount in the wallet.
So the problem is if they're doing the exchange directly on the blockchain, or they've got their own pool of liquidity and they're doing it, in which case you won't see it. So you're right. This is where it's always better where you can see it on the blockchain itself.
Yeah, because I'm trying to verify an account where someone transferred 200 million stable coins in that exchange. And when I log into their wallet, it does show the 200,000 stable coins tether. But how do you verify that's for real? And then I went to see the blockchain. I can't find, the wallet on the blockchain. So I don't know. So that's a little bit puzzling.
Yeah, I agree. This is the thing that makes me nervous about anything where a trade is done via their own pool or something, because it means you might not see that. But also, if it's a unregistered, unregulated exchange, you kind of have to be a little bit cautious about whether it's legitimate or not in its own right. So I'm not saying don't trade on a DeFi exchange, but just be mindful that there are extra risks that you have to be comfortable with.
Yeah, it's basically what the risk is, that you're saying that, okay, I'll pay the Ethereum fees just as a blackmail to see if there's actually funds in there, and if there is, will they be able to do the transaction? It's sort of a small price to pay if it's true. If it's not, then you just lose the Ethereum fee, which is possibly about 5,000 to 7,000. So that's 3 Ethereum, to actually release or transfer the funds.
Yeah, that can be quite expensive in gas fees as well, I guess. So,
oh yeah, I forgot about the gas fees.
Yeah. So we've been joined by a couple more people. JT's regular. Hi, JT. And is it Fong joined as well? Have I said your name correctly? I hope. I'm staying silent.
No. Yes, you said it correctly.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm new here. I know Jeremy, and he said I should join the group, and I'm just exploring.
Okay.
I am doing digital bonds, so tokenized bonds. I am trying to help a fund in Luxembourg.
Okay. So you're not Cambridge-based by any chance?
I used to live in Cambridge. I moved into London 6 years ago. I met Jeremy in Cambridge.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, so it is not for people outside of Cambridge, is it?
Oh no, this group is everyone. This group is everyone everywhere. So we've got John, who's up in Canada. We've got Stuart, who's in California. JT is probably in the UK at the moment. I'm in the UK. No, we don't have geographic bounds here. We're open to everybody. So welcome aboard.
Thank you.
But you say you're doing what, crypto digital bonds or digital bonds in general?
No, just to tokenize normal bonds.
Okay. Yeah. And is that part of a project that you're building that, or it's in place already?
So no, I'm building it still. I need a custodian, a bank. We have a lot of renewable energy projects. And before we raise in the traditional way, get a loan or equity. And then we went over to issue bonds. And now I thought digital bonds could be the next steps.
Okay. Well, it's good you're thinking about custody. I know certainly that there's one company in the UK who I've met a few of the people and have a good reputation who do custody, and that's Zodia. And Zodia are a kind of a spin-off out of Standard Chartered Bank, I think. Certainly, there's some overlap with some of their people and that. And I believe Zodia are UK FCA registered, so they're on the crypto asset register, if I remember correctly. So if you think about custody, there's a name definitely to check out. And also, I'd recommend take a look at the UK FCA crypto asset register. There might be other companies on there as well. So maybe something to think about.
I think a friend of mine introduced me to Zodia.
Oh.
And but they haven't responded.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot. And Zodia and what else? Who else do you say that they were FCA authorized?
Well, the best bets are you actually UK based or Luxembourg based? Sorry.
The fund is from Luxembourg. I am from London.
Okay, all right. So what I would suggest is if you go to the UK FCA crypto asset register, so it's online, it's a public record, and you can actually take a look at all of the companies who've currently got a crypto asset registration with the FCA.
Yeah.
And it's worthwhile as a starting point going through that to take a look.
Oh, the register with the FCA, I have checked them out. I have talked to a couple.
Okay.
No, because I know some people from FCA and I know a couple of people from London Stock Exchange.
Mm-hmm.
I have done this. I started in 2019. And I work with African countries.
Okay.
So bonds is the thing that they are doing a lot of.
Mm-hmm.
And they are talking about digital bonds. So that's where I started. So I have talked to quite a few. And we really start seriously last year, about a year ago, with the commitment of projects in South Africa and the fund in Luxembourg. They are going to issue the bonds, but we haven't finalized yet because we had a custodian last year and it stopped. So I have to find someone else. And I'm still looking.
Okay. Well, I can certainly say it's always worth looking at the FCA register, where if you're aware of a company, you can find if they are registered, or there used to be certainly a way that you could just download the entire list to see who was there. In fact, have we got it? Yeah, there are various ones that you can do. I'm just actually looking at the website at the moment. Yeah, I'm sure.
Don't worry. Yeah. Don't worry. Sorry, I don't want to hijack your meeting. I can connect with you offline, so we can talk a bit more if you are curious.
Yeah, sure. Well, my suggestion is check me out on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
If you check on LinkedIn for Gary Nuttall.
Yeah.
I usually appear at the top of the list, particularly if you do something like Gary Nuttall crypto. I normally appear right at the top, or even just Google me, and you'll find me. And I'm pretty much London based as well, so always happy to talk. So
thank you.
Well, welcome Fong. So thank you for that. So John, you're getting a bit of background at the moment, so I'm just going to pop you on mute. Well, I was going to take the opportunity. JT has joined us. JT is always good at sharing new information about things he's found out about. So, anything happening this week, JT?
We have plenty, actually.
Oh, go for it.
4 days has just been insane.
So I noticed Bitcoin kind of like plummeted Is that related to something in particular, do you think?
Yeah, the usual stuff, liquidations, $2.9 billion of liquidations.
Okay.
So that's pretty much it. That's what happened. And also very interesting was a guy in Hyperliquid that Garrett, what's his name? Gosh. Garrett's Bullish. Yeah, I think that's what people call him, Garrett Bullish.
Okay.
He got liquidated on Ethereum, 220 or 230 million, something like that. So, I mean, it's just insane that people still do this type of, it's really casino, when people go and put shorts and longs and leverage of this type. He was the guy in Hyperliquid with more liquidity.
Okay.
He got liquidated. So,
well, it happens.
Yeah.
This is the whole thing, isn't it? These things are never totally predictable in that. But that was on Hyperliquid, did you say?
Yeah, it was one of the biggest liquidity. Had biggest liquidity on Hyperliquid. Yeah, but
okay. I just found the news story now. It's on CoinDesk. Single trader lost 220 million. Those are ETH dropping by 10%. So yeah, that must sting a little bit. So yeah, as you say, 2.5 billion in crypto positions liquidated. ETH dropped by over 1 billion. Yeah, that's the nature of it, isn't it? If you've got positions and they drop away.
Something else that somebody sent me today, I was like, wow,
Okay.
Let me post here on the group chat so you can actually have this.
Okay.
Gosh, there's a lot of crazy stuff going to happen this year. I'm telling you, a lot of crazy stuff.
Let's see if I can pull this in. Hang on. Good old X. Justin's girlfriend. Is that the one?
Yeah.
I'm trying to quickly read this now to see what the crypto connection is. Well, I'll just pull it up anyway. Just hoping I've got the right one. On TRX. Okay. So this is about Justin's son at Binance.
No, not Binance. It's not Binance. Justin's son.
Oh, sorry. No, sorry. Yeah, you're right. Justin's son. Yeah. Okay. So, So is it like market manipulation?
According to her.
Yeah.
He was setting up accounts, etc., separate accounts in Binance from his employees.
Okay.
So with ID from his employees and so on, according to her, we don't know if it's true, right? So
okay,
and then was basically dumping on people through those accounts.
Yeah, one certainly worth checking into just in case. But there's so many of these stories going on, isn't there?
Don't piss off your girlfriend. That's what you should always think.
Yeah,
gosh,
definitely.
This is I think this is not going to stop here. There's going to be a lot of stuff about this,
Yeah, I think there's going to be a few cascades, as you say, with the liquidations of the last couple of days, plus things like that going on. And
it's still the repercussion of October the 10th, and now I posted another link. There's an ongoing thing, the OKX founder posted on X. There's another post from him here that talks about how the whole $20 billion liquidation started.
Okay.
He basically was blaming Binance, and then CZ got involved and said something, and now he got involved. He said something else. Gosh, I don't know what to think about this, to be frank, but
I think there's certainly so much going on, isn't there? So
yeah,
you never quite know what's fact, what's fiction, what's manipulation, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's the great thing about X. It still publishes things that you don't see elsewhere.
yeah,
It's a matter of what the validity is, though.
I mean, this is the founder of OKX and CZ from Binance.
Yep.
The main owner of Binance, so it's their accounts. I think we haven't seen much of what happened. I think we're going to see a lot more after that liquidation of 20 billion, and then just this Friday.
Okay.
Well, it's been going for about 10 days. Bitcoin reached 75K. That was like 2.9 billion in liquidations as well.
Okay.
We're going to see a lot of bad reviews, people coming out, talking, people that lost a lot of money with all of this. And we're going to see projects fail and close. We're going to see chains that aren't sustainable. Cascade effect, basically.
Well, it's interesting. I was just looking at the Ethereum numbers. If we take a look at the charts, and again, you can read so much into charts, and there are people who know this far better. But you certainly take a look at how, what's this, 1st of February? So today, 2,300 dropped right the way down to, what's that? 2288. So it's still not too bad, though. That's still only a few percent, isn't it? But it certainly always looks as though it's like it's calamity and collapse and everything. But that's not a good chart, is it?
I don't think we haven't seen a dramatic drop on Ethereum. I think it's going to suffer badly at some point.
Well,
I think projections from people that go between 700 and 1.2.
Okay. Well, that's going to be quite dramatic, because it was kind of like peaking just a few days ago, or a couple of weeks ago, 3,300, and now 2,300. So it's lost, what's that, 25% or something? Yeah, that must be hurting a few people. So, okay.
Remember, one very important thing is that on average, Bitcoin drops between 70 to 90%. Okay? If you look back in previous cycles, it's pretty much between that, 70 to 90%.
I think that's the thing that still I find fascinating when you get people who are newer to the space. And I know that you and I and Stuart have all been in this for a lot longer than many others. But it's when you hear the whole, the market's collapsed, it's gone down by like 10%, 20%. It's like, you're not even trying. I've seen much bigger dropouts there. You take a look, I'll just pull up the Bitcoin chart over the last few years. I mean, back in 2018, I remember this, when it hit 16 and then plummeted away down to, let's say, 7. So that's a 50% drop. And then it went from 59. I remember that one, and it dropped.
It went to 3.7 or 3.8 Bitcoin. I remember massive drop. And lucky were the guys that bought at that price, And then, after that, we went up, right down to about 69, wasn't it?
Yeah, I remember that. I think that was around about this kind of period where, there we go. It says 67, but I agree. I think it did actually hit 69 the end of 2021. And again, it then went from that down to 16 or 17 thereabouts.
No, he hit 14.
814.
Bitcoin went to 14K.
Okay.
After the FTX collapse, right down to 14K.
Ah, okay.
And then there was people who got in after one day was there at 14K. I remember that vividly. I was like, who's buying now?
Okay.
And it went from 14K in a few days to 17K very quickly. And then it didn't stop anymore until 126. Of course, ups and downs all the time. So you're right, as it goes up or as it goes down, 10% is not a lot. So what you need to look is from the cycle between when the cycle ends. In the past, it has gone down between 70 to 90% of its all-time high.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you do the maths and you will see. But I think that in the last cycle, the only reason, in my opinion, that Bitcoin went so low at 14K was because of the FTX collapse. I remember it was steady there between 26 or 27 and 32K for a while, and then FTX happened and it really collapsed.
Yeah.
At this time, he hit 126K. Now it came down to 75K. Do the maths and see how much was that drop.
So it's going to be interesting because FTX is probably going to hit the news again soon because they've got a creditor payout due in March of I think it's about $1 billion. In fact, here we go. Let me find the thing. Returning it. So due to pay $1 billion to Genesis by the look of it. The end of March. So presumably that's coming through the estate and that. But again, that's going to be quite a big number. I'd be curious as to whether that's paid out in Bitcoin or paid out in whatever else. Yep, time flies because the FTX
almost certainly
whole thing was back in 2022. So it's
most certainly they will pay in dollars, or they were not paying whatever they had in crypto for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, it's fascinating when you look back and you realize FTX. That was, I think it was November of 2022 when that all came out. So it's like approaching 3 years. Time flies when you're in prison, I guess.
The strangest thing for me was the Bitcoin fell badly on Friday, but so did gold and since Thursday, gold and silver. It was like it's like someone knew something and dumped all of their stuff. Usually you can see so very clear when it comes like this big dump on the top assets out there. It's very suspicious.
Well, we were talking last week about this. Nathan, who you'll know is a regular as well, he'd been watching the precious metals markets, and he was saying, they're behaving quite weirdly in terms of the prices. And I know everyone's talking about gold and silver at the moment, and they all seem to be going a bit weird. Both the stock exchanges, the precious metals, and everything. And I was saying to John, who's left now as well, if you take a look at the Fear and Greed Index on the crypto side, it's dropping down to kind of like it looks like it's going to hit a lowest low type thing. It's down to 18 at the moment, and if I just pull the chart up again, you can see it's kind of like looking like it's about to go into free fall into the extreme fear zone, and that all kind of ties in with just general uncertainty. So yeah, it's because the theory is, what was it Warren Buffett said? Buy when the market is fearful and sell when it's greedy. So sticking with that, and this is not financial advice, blah blah blah. Then if we head into this extreme fear zone as prices are collapsing, providing they don't completely collapse, that could be presenting some good buying opportunities. But as I say,
I've heard anything from some really top guys in crypto, saying they expect anything from 35 to 55K.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, wow, that's really big. It's big because it's big, in my opinion, because there's more institutional players. Bitcoin has matured a little bit. People understand the cycles and they understand when not to sell. So I'm quite surprised that some people still expect that. I would expect anything between 70 and 90. And not below that. But let's see.
But again, nothing surprises me in this space, because I think there's constantly new people coming in who quite often it's still ex-traditional finance people who think that they understand traditional finance, and I'm sure they do, but then they try and apply the same rules to crypto and they assume it all works the same, and they tend to discover the hard way it doesn't. There's certainly similarities. So
the interesting thing is that strategy average price, Michael Saylor, the average price that they have on all the Bitcoin that they bought, which is like hundreds of thousands of BTC now, it's 76K. So Bitcoin went to 75.
Okay.
So he's probably a bit nervous, but it will be very interesting to see this February. February is going to be a very interesting month, I think.
And I see you've just showed another thing in the link about Polymarket.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's basically working out how to arbitrage trade.
As a guy made 2 million from that, you can see that top trader. It's super interesting. You should read this on when you finish this call.
Yeah, definitely.
So people are just finding ways to extract from everyone else, constantly.
Okay. And he's done an analysis on arbitrage players. Is that it? But he's done some maths on it.
There's science behind that, okay? So
yeah,
it's very, very cool.
Okay. Oh, I'm sure there's a few people who are into mathematics who'll be particularly interested in that.
Oof. Even if you don't go deep in mathematics, just understanding, you can understand the concept, understand what they have done, and it's very, very clever.
Oh, that's definitely something to read later on when I need to go to sleep. All right, thank you for that. Really interesting. Well, hopefully interesting anyway. So anything else going on then? Anyone got any other things, Stuart? Anything happening on your side?
Nothing much going on.
No. All quiet. Fair enough.
I am still
money. That's all.
I'm still trying to validate something I was reading about Ripple and Stellar.
Okay.
I need to do a bit deeper, but some guys were posting that they found on the Epstein files back in 2014 a group of people, including Epstein, on emails about investing in Stellar, it was the CTO of Ripple. Yeah.
Okay.
After they launched XRP, he went to create Stellar. So it's really, if that is true, oh my gosh, there's a lot of shit around that.
You can certainly go and check Reddit for some things on that.
Send me that link. I want to see that. I want to see. Send me on WhatsApp if you can. Okay.
Yeah, no problem. I'll do that after.
I haven't had a look. It was just some people posted. I'm like, I have to look at it later because if it's true, oh my gosh, there's a lot more shit than actually people think.
Well, I think that's the other thing. I keep hearing stories about yet more revelations with the Epstein files and how it's going to take down people, royalty, governments. Front page of the Sunday Times today was a revelation of someone with a photo of them. It's like, there's so much about it. You can't always tell what's true and false. But yeah, I'll ping the link separately for anyone who is interested on this chat. I can post that there. Okay. Anything else happening, anybody? Or anyone want to share anything or any questions? It's all gone very quiet, hasn't it?
Yeah, look, the hash rate of Bitcoin dropped by 12% as well. That was something else that I saw.
So that's good, isn't it? Doesn't that mean that there are fewer resources being used when that happens?
There's not much going on, transactions.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the bots dumping, liquidating. I don't think not many people are doing transactions.
Okay.
Just at the moment, just playing the casino, all of those people.
Okay, so this is the nice thing about looking on a blockchain. You can actually see things like hash rates. So here we have it. Yeah, it's what was that on last week when it was at $93,000 nearly, and we got like 1 billion terahashes, or sorry, 1 terahash, and it's dropped down somewhat. Yeah. Interesting one again.
Yeah, and once more, I had these on my tab to read.
Mm.
And that's super interesting. Just posted that a link because once again, retail falling to the same trap over and over again. Every single cycle is the same. So the top whales start to sell, yeah. And then there's a point where it just drops really bad, yeah, and then it drags all the retail to sell as well instead of keeping the Bitcoin.
Okay.
They're selling, and then someone was tracking. This is just a link that I sent you, but I was reading some guys on X that were tracking the wallets that they were buying BTC.
Mm-hmm.
So there's already big whales buying BTC as people are selling their BTC since about 190K. There's people buying it.
Yeah, that's interesting. So the whales with 10,000 or more Bitcoin in the wallets are building their positions.
Of course, that's how they got the 10,000 in the last cycles. They buy it at discount. They sell it at the top and then they buy it at the bottom.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're forcing people to sell, or the people get scared, because when you look in your wallet and say, oh my gosh, I'm just break even, or I'm down minus 10, 20%, people don't stick to it, and wait for the next cycle. And they panic and they sell. And that's how they make money, these big whales.
Yeah. Well, it's another one to read up on later. But yeah, this is where you find that the big whales have clearly got a different strategy than the retail market.
The interesting thing is more than 1,000 BTC wallets went from 1,207 BTC wallets to
1,300.
303.
Yeah.
That's just in October.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunately people just go, or a lot of people just selling to try to buy low again.
Mm-hmm. But it's like I've always said, it's similar to the traditional stock exchanges, that if someone thinks something is worth selling at a particular price, then in a liquid market, that also means there's someone who thinks it's worth buying at that price, and they can't both be right. So,
so depends. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if there is a downturn, then it's whoever sells first is the one who's going to be happy, right? But the problem is when you see big dumps like silver. I bet you we're going to find out that was probably JP Morgan that did a big dump, because in the past they were fined $2.9 billion for manipulating the silver market. Yeah. So they're the biggest hoarders of physical silver. Yeah.
Okay.
For decades already. Yeah. There's nothing new. So it was like, I can't remember when was it, but it was more than 10, 12 years ago. They were fined $2 or $3 billion for manipulating the market.
Okay.
Now this time is different. They probably learned, but that big drop, yeah, shows to me that someone really, really had a lot of silver and in one go, it was just like bang, because you can see the actual, the big red candles, they were too fast, you know?
Yeah, that's like a 20, again, it dropped from like £88 in the UK. This is looking at the Royal Mint. I know they happen to do silver monitoring and trading.
It went from $120 or something to 76 or 78.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
down on 85 at the moment, was 121. So that's like what's that, 20%, 25%, something?
Yeah, now, but on Friday went to 70 something, 72, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Yeah,
Again, that's a big drop. Really, I mean, for commodities market is just insane. That drop. Yeah, it's like a meme coin.
Yeah. Certainly in the UK, it's showing down to 78. But this is interesting. I presume
that's weekend.
Is that just the weekend? So it's closed market. Fair enough. Yeah, because I was thinking presumably they suspended trading or something. But yeah, it's just the weekend, isn't it? So they don't trade.
So there was a lot of talk that the US was going to attack Iran, and some guys were insiders, of course, you know, they know this information and they just dump on Friday market. You never know, you know.
Yep.
These things you just don't know. It can be bullshit or could be true, but
well, it's all the old what is it? Buy on the rumor, sell on the news. So
yeah. Apart from that, I don't think much going on in crypto. To be frank, you know, it's all around. There's like the vibe in crypto market at the moment is stay alive.
Well, yeah. But it's like all the markets that they're all behaving. That we said the other day. You know, you take a look at gold as well. You know, I was just like looking at gold earlier on, and you know, again that had this moment where it's dropped down from like $5,500, plummeted down to what's this, 4.7. So that's nearly again a 20% drop. So yeah, everything's taking a hammering. I think everyone's just worried about what might be happening in the Middle East, I guess. And
one thing you need to keep an eye today.
Say again?
I haven't had a look at it because
on gold.
I don't look at shit coins, but you know, Ripple is going to unlock 1 billion XRP today.
Is that right?
1 billion XRP they're going to unlock.
Okay.
It's on their escrow wallets, if I'm not mistaken.
So
now, if you're an XRP guy, oh my gosh, you should have sold a while back.
What's interesting, we were talking about Ripple last week and how, you know, XRP, which is the traded crypto, and RLUSD, which is the Ripple stablecoin, are quite different. And it looks like there's growing adoption in the Ripple stablecoin and decreasing popularity in XRP. But yeah, as you say, it's gone from, was up at like 182 thereabouts and dropped down to 156 and to get again in the red, settled down at 160. So yeah, it could be more to come, do you think? It's
Yeah, I mean, look, whatever way we look at this, silver dropping 35% in one day is absolutely insane. We're not talking about crypto markets here, which you see sometimes, yeah?
Yeah.
Something that happens, and it really goes like that. So, overall view of the people like JP Morgan and so on is that silver probably reached the top. Yeah. And even gold, I mean, gold went to, the drop in gold was also insane. In one day, what was it, 15% as well? On Friday?
Yep.
This tells you that markets are very nervous at the moment. And I think it's because of the uncertainty of the war in Iran.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I think you're right on that. Oh, well, with that, I'm going to suggest we finish off now, unless you've got any last minute ones. We covered quite a lot there. We've covered gold, silver, Bitcoin, Ethereum.
There was one thing that I don't know the name of it. I don't remember, but there was this AI agents portal that was released for AI agents to talk to each other.
Oh, it's like clawback or something.
Yeah, that's the one. Clawback.
Yep.
I haven't had a look. I had a relaxed week and I didn't really pick it up on it.
Yeah.
That's super interesting, but bullshit at the same time. I mean, it's a chatbot, right?
Well, I find it fascinating. It's a way of basically getting your chatbots to talk to other chatbots.
What's the purpose on that?
Yeah. Well, it could be I mean, it's funny. I actually get the idea of having an agentic AI marketplace, as in you've got AI agents that fulfill a specific function, and you might want to put them on a marketplace which allows you to build up an orchestration. So, maybe you've got something which is a really good agentic product to do airline flight discounts or something, and then another one which is really good at hotel bookings, and another one that's...
But those already exist, Gary.
Yeah, but I find the concept interesting. But I think on Clawbot, it was meant to be for more general AI, and I don't get that because most agentic AI is not general. It's very, very specific. So, yeah,
it's pretty much chatbots chatting, and posting stuff and replying, and the thing is, there was a token launched. And the token just went crazy. Absolutely.
Yeah, crazy. I think, did it make $5 million or something? I read somewhere.
No, a lot more than that.
Okay.
Really a lot more. I think with over $100 million, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Go on. I'm going to check.
And then also there was a token launch, BIRB. Yeah.
Okay. And I'll see if I can quickly find anything.
So the Moonbirds token, it's called BIRB, BIRB. That went crazy, absolutely crazy. 500 million, whatever it was,
Okay. Okay, Claude bots and alt bots. Yeah, fascinating. So another market again. So want to go and check up on. Okay, let's close it off there then. All really interesting stuff. So JC, thank you as always for that. I know you offer some great insights. Fong, hope that was of interest to you. And to anyone who's watching the YouTube video afterwards, don't just watch, come along and join us at a future session. Everyone's welcome.